I'm also contemplating maybe doing an anti-haul. To haul or not to haul? That was the question. I decided to do one. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be bringing you something I've never done before on my channel, and that is an anti-haul. This is related to the Sephora VIB 20% off sale that's going on right now. I've already posted my wish list. I've placed my orders, so my actual haul will be showing up when my orders show up. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in that. That should come up on my channel in a couple days. So I didn't really know much about anti-hauls. I haven't really watched that many of them. So I went directly to the source and watched a video by Kimberly Clark, who I think invented this whole anti-haul movement. So many people are doing them. If you haven't watched her, I will include a link to that down below. She's very interesting. So I'm just going to jump in. Some of these things are going to be just really very personal preference to me, and some of them are going to be just general commentary. You'll be able to figure it out. I'm going to start off with all the warm sunset, naked heat, warm tone palettes that are out there. There are a ton of them, most notably the Urban Decay Naked Heat, the NATASHA DENONA Sunset Eyeshadow Palette, and the Tartelette Toasted Eyeshadow Palette. I'm not a huge fan of warm tone palettes, those orangey shadows. I think it takes a certain type of person to be able to actually pull them off successfully, and I tend to lean more towards neutral and cool tone colors because I think that suits me better. Now, full disclosure, when we went shopping, Kate actually bought the Toasted Eyeshadow Palette and loves it. So this definitely falls into that personal preference category. If you already have one of these warm tone palettes in your collection, you probably don't need more than that. I think, this is very much on trend right now, and pick one. If you like these, one of these would be sufficient. I certainly don't think it's something you need a lot of. It's not like, here I go justifying, it's not like a neutral eyeshadow palette, which I have a ton of, and I love them. I feel like those are kind of classic. Here I am justifying again. Whereas these warm tone palettes, maybe not so much. Whatever. Call me out if you want. So next up, I'm going to talk about some palettes that I think are like over the top in terms of packaging. And the one that I think really takes the cake here is from Sephora. It's the Sephora Collection Into the Stars palette. I'm just speechless at whoever designed this packaging, whoever designed this palette in general, but particularly the packaging. It is really out there. It really freaks me out. It looks enormous. Now, I haven't looked at this in the store. I'm only going by what I can see on the website, but it's so weird. I'm not sure I would even seek it out just out of curiosity to see what it looks like in person. So yeah, I'm not a fan of these packaging for the holidays in particular, that it's so over the top and so complicated. I have a lot of makeup, and I like my packaging to be rather minimal. I do have a couple of large palettes, and they are a little hard to store. So just be thoughtful about that. The next up is a palette from Kat Von D, and it is the Saint and Sinner eyeshadow palette. Now, I'm just going to say right here, I love Kat Von D. I own a lot of her eyeshadows, and I think they're fabulous. But for some reason, this palette, the design of the palette, it's pretty. But again, it's kind of that wonky packaging situation. I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to packaging. So there's that. And then it's the layout of the colors, which I understand. I've read a lot of commentary about this. A lot, she designed this so it would look like a stained glass window. However, I look at that and I wouldn't even know where to begin to start in terms of putting an eye look together because of the way everything's laid out. It really confuses me, and I don't want to have to work that hard to figure out what I want to do with my eyeshadows. So while I'm a huge fan and I have some of her limited edition holiday palettes, This one is a hard no for me because I'm sitting here looking at it and I just think, no, it's just weird. So I understand a lot of these companies are trying to make themselves stand out and look different. But this is a hard no for me. And I have seen a few little bits and pieces of commentary on this where, you know, maybe the shadows are not as good as her regular shadows. But I don't know that for a fact, so if you're interested in this palette, certainly really check out the quality of the shadows if you can before you purchase it. So next I have two brands that I feel have kind of jumped the shark when it comes to holiday offerings. So I'm going to start off with Too Faced. I don't understand where this brand is going these days. I used to really love this brand. I used to feel like they had some great products. I feel like lately they are just pumping it out with collaborations, limited edition, special packaging. I think that their products are actually suffering in the long run. So I think they're really probably targeting a younger audience. I think they're really targeting teens. And this quality is probably fine for teens, and they'll love it because they get a lot of different things in it, a lot of different shadows. But for someone who has a little bit more discerning taste in makeup, I think this is a hard pass. The first one is the Boss Lady Beauty Agenda. I kind of get what they're trying to do here, but I'm sure the agenda's a throwaway. Anyone who uses agendas would look at it and go, no thank you. And the other one is the Best Year Ever Makeup Collection, and this is one of their typical 3 smaller palettes that maybe you could gift individually, break it up and give to 3 different people. The problem with that is they have the eyeshadow collection, and each palette has one face product on it. One has a highlighter, one has a bronzer, and one has a blush. So I think that would be weird to break that up and give someone an eyeshadow palette with just a highlighter or just a bronzer. I don't know. I just think that's weird. I wouldn't do it because I would feel like I'm being cheap. For that reason, that's a pass for me. And again, for the whole quality, I have a lot of concern about the quality of their limited edition collaboration holiday packaged products. I just don't think they're as good as their permanent line. Now, as far as Tarte goes, Tarte also has a lot of holiday offerings. There's generally one exclusive to Ulta, one exclusive to Sephora, and maybe some other stores. I'm just not 100% certain. The one that is at Sephora is called the Treasure Box Collector's Set, and a lot of eyeshadow in there, a lot of face product, nothing wrong with that. It just is a big bulky packaging. It doesn't come apart in a way that you could use it in a meaningful way in your everyday collection. It would be the only thing that I would be able to put on my vanity. And again, I have this issue with quality of the products in these holiday palettes for this company as well. So sticking with Tarte, I'm going to go over to their little blush palette set that they have. It's the Blush Bazaar Amazonian Clay Blush Palette. So there are 10 blushes and face products in there. It's mostly blush. I think there's one bronzer and one highlighter. The pans are definitely smaller than what you would get out of a regular product, and I don't have a big problem with that. My big problem with this is there's so much overlap in the color. There are 2 like peachy shades that I'm sure would look, you could put one on this side and one on this side, you would not be able to tell the difference. Similarly with the pinks, similarly with like the darker, brighter, peachy pinks. There is so much overlap that I think I would like a little bit more variety. And I also noticed that it doesn't say the Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush, which makes me think, is this really the same formula as their individual pans? So while they are stamped with this little logo on it, it does not say that it is the 12-hour blush. So when I go onto the website and I compare the description of this Blush Bazaar kit and just the single Amazonian Clay blushes. The singles definitely say 12-hour wear, and it does not say that in the description for this Blush Bazaar. It just says Amazonian clay. So I noticed this myself personally when I was buying, when Tarte was offering a lot of those little round palettes. And the first one I got definitely was the 12-hour blush. The next one I picked up was not, and it was not very good. And I didn't notice that until I had been using it for a couple weeks, and I was like, why is this blush so chalky and powdery? And it was not the same blush, and I really felt like kind of taken advantage of, cheated a little bit. So I have since then been very careful if I'm buying something that is in a kit or in a one of those round palettes to make sure that it is the 12-hour blush, because I don't like their other formula as well. So keeping in line with this, redundancy in color offerings in these, little gift sets, I felt that way about the Kat Von D Find Your Nude Studded Kiss lipstick set. This comes with 5 of their studded lipsticks, which I don't personally own, but I think, the reviews on those are very good. But when I looked at the swatches, I was, well, first of all, when I just looked at them in the first picture where they're all standing up, I'm like, huh, 2 are light and 3 are, a little deeper. They seemed very similar to me. And so I popped over to the photograph with the swatches, and basically it is really just 3 different shades in here. 2 are very light, which would not work on me at all. 2 are like a pinky nude, which I would probably wear, but I think they're nearly identical. And there's one that's like almost a brownie, darker nude, which looks beautiful too. So 2 are a throwaway and 2 are a duplicate, and so I think it's easy to get kind of swept into these little gift sets and think, oh, that's a great buy, I should get that. And I think you have to really pay attention to, the color range, if there are colors that you're going to wear. Maybe if there's one that's a throwaway, okay, but if there's more than one, then it probably isn't a good buy. So before I go to the last category, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this Glam Glow gift set called the Big Wheel of Sexy. I am so turned off by the packaging. I don't care if it's a good deal, because I just think that's ridiculous. Guys, what are you thinking? Just put it in a box or something. I don't get it. The products that are in here are interesting. All their best-selling masks are in here, and then there's a couple other products that I'm not that familiar with. The Volcasmic Matte Glow Moisturizer and the Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. I don't know why you need both of those in this kit, but they're both in there. And you get a little brush. And the last thing is this Plumprageous Matte Lip Treatment. For me, the 2 glowy products are no thank you. The lip product probably is a no thank you. Glam Glow actually has a couple other gift sets that I think are more appealing to me. And I actually did pick up one of these sets, and I'll show them to you in my haul, because I actually really like their masks. I think they're some of the best out there. The last grouping is something that I see more and more of on the Sephora site, and these are these vault sets. I think that probably Urban Decay started it when they started doing the vaults with all their Naked collection, and they certainly have a couple of those out there. I actually think they have 2 different ones out there this year. One is just the 4 palettes, and the other one is the 4 palettes and a bunch of other stuff too. So if you haven't bought any Naked and you want a lot of Naked, there's a way to get Naked. Putting that aside, I have a couple on here that I just thought I would give you a look-see at. The first is the Kat Von D Everlasting Obsession Lip Liner Collection Edition. It's every shade. Seriously, would you use all those shades? Would you use some of the, like, little, what I would consider the off shades, like a blue and teal and green? Not for the average person. That's an awful lot of lip liner to have in your stash. I'm just like, no thank you. These great big vaults are too much. I would rather pick out a couple that I knew I would use and use up, instead of having all these and then they get dried up and then you have to throw them away. Same for the Hourglass Confession Lipstick Archive. This is $650, and it is every shade of their new ultra slim lipsticks, which I have not tried yet. I've heard really good things about them, but I can guarantee that I would not want to wear every single color in this collection. And nor would I want to tie up $650 worth of my money in just this one brand of lipstick. You know, I am somewhat of a lipstick junkie, but I think I would want to maybe get 2 from this brand and 2 from that brand and try different formulas. They have a smaller one that has 3 colors in it, and I think that's a much better idea, especially if you're just trying it out. The last thing is the ultimate in ridiculousness, and this is the Victoria Beckham Estee Lauder Lit Beauty Box. I'm very intrigued by this brand, but I think it's ridiculously overpriced, so I've not ever purchased anything. However, this I think just really takes the cake. So this box contains 8 of the Victoria Beckham collaboration limited edition products from Estee Lauder, just 8 of them. It's not the entire collection. And it is housed in this super luxurious box. So the price tag for this is $1,500. And I was like, wow. They don't even pretend to say this is a good buy. Like, it's not like, oh, it's in, you know, regularly an $80 value. You know, they don't even do that. This is strictly like, if you've lost your mind and you have $1,500 to spend on one item. So I actually went through and tallied up what the cost of if you purchase these 8 products on their own. Now some of them are already sold out, and I had a hard time finding exact US prices. I could find a lot of UK websites that still had the prices posted, so I just took those prices, converted it to US dollars, and actually I rounded up. So this may not be super duper exact, but according to my estimate, the cost of these 8 products is $335. That's over $1,000 just for the box. Hell no. I can't imagine they were even selling that many of them. So I'm going to end this anti-haul here. So I hope between the wish list that I posted and this anti-haul that helps you make some decisions in what you're going to pick up during the sale. So if you like this content and you are new to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button so you can get notifications of future videos that I post. Thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care.